Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 8 rounds of boxing scheduled for the IBA Youth Lightweight Championship. This fight is brought to you by Bob Duffy's Ring Promotions in association with David Schuster's Winner Take All Productions. This bout is brought to you exclusively by oral surgeon Dr. Stephen N. Rosenberg, located at 30 East 60th Street in New York City. And his opponent across the ring to my left, fighting out of the red corner. He wears camouflage. He took the scales at 135 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with a record of 8 victories, no defeats. He has 2 wins coming by way of knockout. From Oceanside, New York, Mike.
These guys are lightweights. 131 for Joseph Arroyo. Michael Brooks, 135. Michael Brooks in the camouflage trunks. Joey Arroyo, the southpaw in the red. Rather, not a southpaw, he's the right-hander. It's Mikey Brooks who's the southpaw. For a moment I thought we had southpaw versus southpaw, and actually Michael Brooks is called Lefty. His nickname is Lefty. He answers to Lefty. He is also undefeated in 7 fights with 2 knockouts. Joey Arroyo is 3-2. He has not knocked out anybody in his professional career. Joey Arroyo from the Bronx, New York. Michael Brooks from Oceanside. Lives pretty close to Oceanside, New York. Lives in Freeport. Our referee in there is Pete Santiago. The judges are John McKay, Robert Perez, and Robert Taylor. Michael Brooks was on my Sirius XM radio show the other night and said he just loves a rumble. Doesn't mind boxing somebody, but would rather stand in close and bang. In Joey Arroyo's last fight, he has had a 2-year layoff, 2.5-year layoff. He lost a majority decision over 4 rounds at the Ultra Lounge in New York City to Kermit Gonzalez. He has basically worked with managerial problems throughout. Had a few fights in 2008. Then he was off for about a year. Fought in 2009. Took off a few months. Fought in 2010. And now he's been off for about 2.5 years. Michael Brooks, on the other hand, fought just a few weeks ago right here at this very venue, winning on a 2nd round knockout over Calvin Pritchard, which was an improvement against Calvin Richard. It was a rematch. 2 years ago he fought Pritchard and won a 4-round decision. Michael Brooks, 7-0. Joey Arroyo, 3-2. 3-minute rounds, and we come to the end of round number 1. For both of these guys, this is their first scheduled 8-rounder. So the furthest that Michael Brooks has ever had to go was 6 rounds, and he did that one occasion. That was about a year ago, and that was at the Paradise Theater in the Bronx, New York, when he won a 6-round decision against Jamel Tyson. 25-year-old Michael Brooks. Brooks in those camouflage trunks. He the southpaw, they call him Lefty. And the man in the red trunks, Joey Arroyo. he said the two of them were basically having a stare down at the New York State Athletic Commission the other day. And on my show, he said, I can hardly wait to jump into the ring against this guy and finish what I really wanted to start in the weigh-in room. Pete Santiago, an experienced referee, many years in the amateurs, and is doing a fine job as a referee in New York State. They keep it in the center of the ring, really feeling each other out here. A slow-paced boxing match. Usually feeling out doesn't go on much past round number one. And here in the second round, taking nice long looks at each other. Couple of nice defensive moves on the part of Michael Brooks. Brooks looking to land that power left hand of his, not using his jab the way I've seen him use it a lot in the past, but that could be because Arroyo has about 3 inches in height and a considerable amount of reach on him, and he's keeping his distance. So because of the distance of Arroyo, not there though, but whenever Arroyo keeps his distance, Michael Brooks has trouble landing that jab. See there, he fell short a couple of times. Round number 3, lightweight bout between the man in the camouflage trunks, Michael Brooks, 135 pounds, Joey Arroyo, 131, red trunks. Round number 3. Your referee is veteran Pete Santiago, sporting a deep dark tan, as we are deep into the summer of 2012. Arroyo forcing the action there, and I reminded you, I told you, he has never stopped an opponent. He is the consummate boxer. His 4 wins, his wins have come by decision. He's had 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Both of his losses have come by decision, majority decision. That one was in his last fight, January of 2010. He's been off for about 2.5 years. Couple of nice body shots by Michael Brooks, 25-year-old Michael Brooks. Lives in Freeport, Long Island. And now Michael Brooks beginning to put that pressure on. Everything he's throwing is with bad intentions. This is a different Michael Brooks than we saw in the first 2 rounds. he was almost moving in slow motion up there, and now everything he's throwing has thunder on it. See, there he tried to move in and land that stiff left hand, but Arroyo saw it coming, and he backed up. Nice pot shot with the right hand by Arroyo. Joey Arroyo out of the Bronx, New York. Again, he's 3-2-1. 6 fights, 5 of them in New York. 1 was back in 2008. That was one of his wins, a 4-round decision in Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. Final seconds, round number 3. End of round number 3. 3 rounds to nothing on your scorecard. A nice crowd in this outdoor fight on Long Island. Outdoor fights just to become basically like the typewriter. You see them, but not all that much. Michael Brooks, camouflage trunks, the southpaw, they call him Lefty, against the shifty Joey Arroyo on a hot, humid night in New York. About 85 degrees with the humidity up in the 90s, and I'm talking the high 90s. Pete Santiago, another one of those referees I like. Lets you work on the inside. Too many referees jump in and break up the action way too quickly. And I believe there's a tape problem on the left glove of Michael Brooks. Yes, there is. Pete Santiago wisely called timeout. Let's see if he remembers to call time in. Time in. Very good move by Pete Santiago. You see many referees do that. They call timeout and then forget to call time in. Sign of a sharp referee. I told you, I like Pete Santiago. I like the crew they got on tonight. Arroyo trying to put some power on those shots. Remember, he is not one of those power hitters. 3 wins, 2 losses. In those 3 wins, no knockouts. But Michael Brooks isn't known as a knockout hitter either. I think he'd like to be. He looks at himself as more of a guy who likes to rumble. I had asked him, why do you fight? He said, I like to. End of another round here on a hot summer night. Sun is still shining here in New York. Another round comes to an end. The referee does not have them do some housekeeping, and I've seen fighters circle around the corner and then slip on it. And I've seen fighters get hit as they were slipping. So again, good job by the veteran Pete Santiago. And again, you have to wonder, with this humidity being the way it is, here we are in round number 5, are the fighters feeling it? Because temperatures in the mid-80s, the humidity's in the high 90s, and these guys are just pouring, soaking wet. And in the back of their minds, they have to be thinking, you know, I am really not that one-punch knockout hitter. And that being the case, I got to finish this round, number 5, then number 6, then number 7, then number 8, and this incredible humidity. Believe me, there have been guys who have gotten near the end of the fight, and for whatever reason, even though they look like they're coasting along, all of a sudden the bottom just falls out, and they have nothing left to give. So I think they're both pacing themselves a little bit. You saw Brooks just then step back and take a little deep breath. Well, he saves it up for some flurries and then backs up and starts in again. Short left hand and another one, left uppercut by Michael Brooks. Both guys busier this round than they have been in the previous 4. Michael Brooks just walking Arroyo down. Hard left hand by Brooks. I think he hurt him on a body shot. Arroyo took that shot nice though. Dances out of trouble and back to the middle of the ring where quite frankly he belongs, not on the ropes. And that's where they are right now, back in the center of the ring. Another round coming to an end. And I'd say that if Arroyo wants to win this fight on my unofficial card, I've got a 49-46.
I like that, Dave. I like that. Yeah, I do.
This is round number 6. Michael Brooks, camouflage trunks. Joey Arroyo, red trunks. It's lefty against righty. And I'm surprised we haven't seen more toe stepping, because many times when you have a right-hander against a left-hander, toes get stepped on. I think one of the greatest at doing that, whether he did it on purpose or not, he claims he never did. I think there was a method to his madness, if you will, was Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Actually, a guy who is a master of doing that when he's in against southpaws is Bernard Hopkins. I believe his last fight, when he was in against southpaw Chad Dawson, he continually did that to Dawson. But generally, whenever there's a left-hander against a right-hander, watch for 2 things. One, the toe stepping, and the other, that you hope you don't see, headbutts. And so far, we have been headbutt-free here in round number 6 between Michael Brooks and Joey Arroyo. One thing Arroyo really doesn't want to do is get in close and play Brooks' banging game. If anything, Arroyo wants to stay on the outside and use that reach advantage. Yes, he's taller by about 2.5, 3 inches, but you don't hit a guy with height, you hit him with reach, but he does have that reach advantage. See, right there, it was a place that Arroyo didn't want to be. Punching range, and he got ripped to the body by Brooks. And again, if Arroyo wants to win this fight, he's really got to pull out round 6, 7, and 8. And so far, he's not doing it here in round number 6. And I do believe because of the high humidity, very high humidity, and the crowd is really into it here. This is a place that Arroyo doesn't want to be on the ropes. I think the humidity again, which is in the high 90s, with the temperature in the mid to upper 80s, is keeping these guys from fighting at an all-out pace. Although I think you may see that all-out pace in the 8th and final round, and I do believe we will have an 8th and final round. We will not see a knockout. Okay, I gave another round right there, round number 6, to Michael Brooks, putting him out ahead on my scorecard, 59-55. But let's say I'm off by a round or so, which would be 58-56. That would be just 2 points away. So this fight would still be a winnable fight, or at least a fight where he could pull out a draw for Joey Arroyo. I think he has to know that, and I think you're going to see him give everything he's got in the 7th and 8th round. We'd like to thank one of our sponsors here tonight, Westbury Chrysler Jeep. Whether it's a car you want to rent, buy, lease, the great people at Westbury, tremendous professionals. It's almost like they don't want to just have you buy a car. They really want to work with you in getting you to buy one, lease one, rent one. Real professionals they are. Give them a try. Westbury Chrysler Jeep. Now you're going to have to watch the tape on the left hand of Brooks. I think Pete Santiago getting ready to step in and call time, because that tape is coming very loose. And he's going to step in, which he does right now. And he brings him over to the corner. That tape has been getting wet. And again, it's how much these guys are sweating from the incredible humidity here tonight. This is definitely one of those 2 or 3 bottles of water a night. And I'm not talking for the fighters. I'm talking for the people in attendance. So the concession stand tonight is not going to make out so much on beer. They're going to make out on water. The beer, too, of course. Nice crowd here tonight at the Plattdeutsch restaurant in Franklin Square, Long Island, New York. At this point, Arroyo's got to really turn it on, I think. You know, unless the judges are just watching an entirely different fight than we are, then at least I am, and the one that I'm selling to you. The little guy, Lefty, is in command of this fight in a very competitive fight. He has won a majority of the rounds, but there's never been a round where he has just coasted to victory. If ever there were 10-9 rounds, these are 10-9 rounds. Final seconds of the round. I truly am not going to be surprised if we see a very close decision here. Guys have given it their all on a hot, muggy night here in Franklin Square, Long Island, New York. Temperature in the high 80s, mid to high 80s. Did you fight it tonight? And I was just told that the humidity is 98%. So when I said high 90s, I was right. I didn't think it was that high. It just feels like it's going to explode in rain any moment. The air in here is wet. The crowd chanting lefty, lefty. Their hero from Freeport, New York, born and raised in the Oceanside area, just a few miles south of that. Lefty. Basically, didn't hide the fact that he was a troubled kid, and he actually teaches now others. He said, I want other kids who are in the same situation as me. I'm trying to help them out. And he said one of his strong points was stamina. You've seen it here tonight. And I'd have to say the same thing for Arroyo, because these guys are fighting in a heat and humidity that would actually wilt most fighters. Hard left uppercut by Brooks, followed by a right hand. Body shot. That's about the first time that I've really seen Lefty just put some bad intentions on his punches. And remember, we said earlier, we expect both guys to turn it loose in this round. They are not going to hold anything back. They realize there's only 3 minutes left in this fight. Heat or not, humidity or not, they are going to give it everything that they've got. Bad place for Arroyo to be, but he hangs on. And referee Pete Santiago breaks him up, and back to the center of the ring they go. But it's always one punch at a time by Arroyo, who we know is not a knockout hitter. And that's the chant of Lefty one more time. Final seconds of this action-packed bout. Michael Brooks, Joey Arroyo, and there is the final bell.
Robert Taylor scored this bout 79-73. decision. Still undefeated and
Well, no surprise there. I had a 79-73. As did Robin Taylor. John McKay had it 78-74, the same score as journalist Ron Ross. So no surprise there. I think the one surprise might have been the 80-72, the total shutout. Was it a shutout as you scored it at home? How did you score it? Again, I had it 79-73. No problem there with any of those scores. So Michael Brooks, the New York State champion, lightweight champion, now 8-0. Joey Arroyo dropped to 3-3 with one draw on a very hot night, a very humid night, here at the Plat Deutsch restaurant in Frankfurt.